Hello, EKN Nation, and welcome to a new episode of This Week in Karting, episode number 59, February 20th, 2023. I am David Cole, joined by Nate Dean as we go through all the major news that has hit the EKN homepage over the past couple of weeks. It's been a little been since January 25th that we've recorded a show. Again, This Week in Karting is perfect for listening on the way to work or coming home, ideal for your morning or afternoon commute, or while you're working on the kart in the shop or heading to the racetrack. So it has been a little bit of time since we had a This Week in Karting. We were busy trackside to a number of different events. We were at Challenge of the Americas, along with Superkarts USA Winter Series, the finale for that. So a lot of stuff to get into in terms of news and topics regarding the sport of karting as we get This Week in Karting episode presented by Margay. Are you interested in renting a kart at one of the biggest karting events in 2023? Do you want to be part of the fastest growing series in the sport? Check out Margay Racing's Spec Ignite class and their Arrive and Drive packages. Nothing matches the affordability and competitive level of the Ignite program. It's just one set of tires, national level caliber drivers, where the best driver wins over the best equipment. Bring your safety gear and Margay will take care of the rest. This year's Ignite majors include WK Kart Week, Dash at Daytona, the USAC Karting Elkhart Riverwalk Grand Prix, and the Rock Island Grand Prix on Labor Day weekend. And there are 5 Ignite Challenge series running around the country this season. For more information, please visit ignitekarting.com today. Get off the couch and into a race seat in 2023. That's a long promo. Let's get into the news and notes and big stories that have hit the EKN homepage. Among the major topics to hit is the Rock Vegas dates and location confirmed. So it's the first of the 2 Vegas events. Obviously, we have the Formula One event kind of surrounding Las Vegas, the paddock being built right now. So a lot of stuff going on in terms of Las Vegas and the 2 major karting events that happen normally around the time that the Formula One Grand Prix is going to happen in Las Vegas. So Nate, kind of give us an idea or give us an update on what's going to happen with the Rock Vegas event.
Yeah, so Rock deciding to go a lot earlier than when Formula One will be in town. Rock Vegas deciding to go with the 25th and the 29th of October, where that Formula One race will be in November. That'll be in the middle of the month. That'll be the 16th through the 18th. So I think they should be clear there and them getting their foot in the door in for that weekend and getting in and out as quickly as possible before the circus comes into town that is Formula One. So it'll be interesting to see what SCUSA does, because they're obviously Super Nationals is the other big event in Vegas, but I'm sure we'll be hearing more and more from them as the weeks progress.
Yeah, this date is very typical to what they've done in the past. I mean, they've had events during Halloween. So like say a Wednesday or a Thursday. I remember I flew out there, I think on a Friday, because Halloween was on Thursday. And so I flew out Friday, caught all the action Friday and Saturday, and then headed home on Sunday. But now they've extended their event to run into Sunday. So it's not a full weekday type style event. So not much of a change, but just getting confirmation that they have a date and obviously the location outside the Rio All Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. That's obviously a major point. Obviously having the location, but also having the date as well. You know, there's still the rumors flying around that things are going to happen with the Rio, but still nothing confirmed in terms of its longevity, how long the hotel is going to be there, if they're going to do the renovations, or if it's going to become a baseball park. You know, that's also another rumor that's been going around for years now in terms of that plot of land turning into a Major League Baseball stadium for a possible either addition to the Major League Baseball or some other team moving there. So again, keep your eye on the internet rumors and stuff going around, floating around on that. But for sure, 2023 Rock Vegas will be at the Rio. And then one of the other things we touched on in our last episode of This Week in Karting was the Superkarts USA Pro Tour changing the Winter Nationals location, but they've also had to, and it was right after we recorded our show, They've also confirmed the change to the Spring Nationals as well. So Nate, kind of give us an update on the opening 2 events for the 2023 SuperKarts USA Pro Tour.
Yeah, so we've known about Orlando coming in for the start of the Pro Tour since the first Winter Series event back in January. But like you said, we will be going on the weekend of June 9th through 11th to Utah Motorsports Campus, where we were last year for the Spring Nationals, replacing K1 Circuit as they still try to get that track ready for other series that will be going there. But yeah, a track that is proven to have some good racing coming back onto the calendar, and Orlando has had some good races of its own throughout the years. So I think it's still, even though we replaced 2 of the races, still a very strong calendar.
Yeah, the March 30th through April 2nd for the Winter Nationals, Orlando Kart Center. That'll be the first time that the Winter Nationals will be held in Orlando. It's been at NOLA Motorsports Park for essentially the longevity of the Winter Nationals since it began in 2017. It's only been run at Cal Speed Karting, and then of course COVID. We just got through Friday, not even through Friday practice, when everything was shut down in terms of with COVID coming in that weekend. So that would be an interesting move. And again, Orlando Kart Center welcomed the United States Pro Kart Series last year. To welcome it again towards the beginning of March, so we know that we can squeeze everybody into the paddock that they do have there. And then the Utah Motorsports Campus, it'll be the 4th time in the last 5 years that the event has been in what was Tooele, Utah. I believe now is Erta, Utah, with some changes in townships and this and that. So I think this is the 5th overall time that SuperKarts USA has been to the Utah area. So it'd be good. It'd be good to go back again. Everybody's familiar with it. A large paddock, plenty of space, plenty of hotel rooms, easy airport to fly into as well. So a lot of good things with that. So we'll just kind of wait and see on the K1 circuit. Again, as you said, that's what the Spring Nationals was originally scheduled for on that June 9 through 11 weekend. California Pro Kart Challenge scheduled to go there. I guess it's still kind of a wait and see. I'll be with Mike Smith, the new general manager for the K1 circuit. I will be with him in Phoenix when we get to the Challenge of America. So kind of have more insight into the progress in terms of the K1 circuit. So with that, we'll head into our first commercial break as we get into episode number 59 of This Week in Karting, and we'll have more news and notes after these commercial breaks.
It's a multi-time world champion, and it's a SuperKarts USA Super Nationals winner. It is Sodi Kart. And starting in 2023, the Sodi brand has found a new home here in the US. Sodi Racing USA is the new exclusive importer of the Sodi Kart chassis line under the karting distribution banner, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from Mini to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has already begun establishing its dealer network, working with the Karting Collective on the West Coast and recently signing PK Sport to serve as a dealer and the official race team on the East Coast. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sodi Kart chassis line or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. It all started in 1994 when former successful kart driver Albino Parolin decided to move his passion for karting from the track to his small workshop. That's when Parolin was born. Fast forward 20 years and Parolin's passion for the sport led to the company rejoining international competitions as a factory team in WSK and CIK FIA races, with the aim of enhancing the research and development process, immediately achieving notable results around Europe, North America, and Asia, becoming the CIK-FIA Asia Pacific KZ champion in the same year. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products, and we run a factory team at all of the major Superkarts USA and Rock Cup USA events. The Parolin chassis lineup for 2021 includes the Invader Shifter, the Le Mans Tag single-speed chassis for junior and senior classes, and the 28mm mini kart for the cadet classes. Parolin has been winning races all over the world, and it's on top of the podium in the USA as well, with drivers like Kai Sorensen, Mateus Orjuela, and Alessandro De Tullio. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. For more information, head to ParolinUSA.com. Attention all club and regional racers along the West Coast. Add the new Northern California Sprint Kart Series to your schedule. The International Kart Federation sanctioned regional series is set for 5 events that will be run throughout 2023. The series kicks off at the Prairie City Kart Track in Rancho Cordova, California on April 21 to 23 before traveling south to Buttonwillow Raceway Park for Memorial Day weekend, May 26 to 28. The Southern Oregon Karters Association in Medford will be home to the halfway point of the series over the June 23rd to 25th weekend. The program moves back to California for July 14th to 16th, visiting the Santa Maria Karting Association. The 5th and final round takes competitors to Corning, California on September 15th to 17th for a temporary circuit to decide the inaugural series champions. The class structure for the Northern California Sprint Kart Series provides classes for the Briggs & Stratton and IAME KA100 engine platforms, along with an open shifter category to round out the 8 divisions set to compete this summer. Make sure to bookmark NorCalSKS.com for series information and details, and find and follow them on social media. Be part of something new and exciting. Be part of the Northern California Sprint Kart Series.
And welcome back to another edition of This Week in Karting. It is February 20th, 2023. We're recording episode number 59 with myself, David Cole, and Nate Dean joining me to discuss the latest news and topics surrounding the sport of karting. One of the big news to break just last week, you guys kind of teased it in the Paddock Insider at the Superkarts USA Winter Series event. Sodi Racing USA and PK Sports to join forces. So Nate, that's kind of a good combination to build kind of a centralized location for the Florida market, but also the East Coast in terms of a race team for the new Sodi Racing USA program.
Yeah, and like you said, we touched on it a little bit before with Sodi Kart deciding to have more of an involvement over here in the States, and obviously them choosing PK family to kind of spearhead that charge to try and get more Sodis up front and more Sodis racing over here. Obviously a great team and family and now track to kind of host that program around, as karting was just there for the Florida Winter Tour. So I think it's a good call for them. It's a strong move for them to go with that family, because that will only help them, especially with all the growth that they've created with their new track and their new team. So yeah, good start for Sodi.
Yeah, the family you speak of is Nelson Piquet Jr., obviously the Formula One and legendary family. Their racetrack, the Piquet Race Park outside West Palm Beach, is kind of the location, will be the headquarters for PK Sports. And as you said, just hosted Florida Winter Tour there at the race park, along with the Rotax Winter Trophy event a couple weeks before that as well too. So a couple of big major events to kick off that new circuit just outside West Palm Beach. And again, PK Sports will be an official dealer and the race team with a focus primarily on the United States Pro Kart Series. So you got to expect to see a number of Sodi karts at the Orlando Kart Center when the United States Pro Kart Series begins its 2023 season. So that'll be exciting. I know we see Sodi Kart on the West Coast with the Karting Collective with Nick LeDuc. We saw a couple of them in the new OKN category. We've seen some shifter karts and a couple of single speed entries as well in the senior category and master 100cc category. So yeah, it's certainly, Sody Kart's no stranger in the United States market, obviously both in competitive and the rental side. I just did some rental kart racing this weekend, yesterday, and they were on Sody Kart. So very familiar with that. And a lot of indoor and outdoor facilities utilizing the Sody brand for their corporate or rental kart programs. So again, Sody Kart kind of just recognizing the opportunities that exist here in the United States. Discussing about opportunities, a new opportunity arose for a series to establish itself. The Northern California Sprint Kart Series is kind of taking over the reins, but not necessarily kind of rebranding itself, but being something completely new as well, from the KPX karting challenge that was happening there in Northern California, kind of focused primarily around the Briggs 206 and 100cc categories as well. So the Northern California Sprint Kart Series, established by Donald Durbin Jr. At a Prairie City kart track. He's put together a 5 race program that includes heading a little bit down towards Southern California and also into Oregon to provide a good on the region. Nate, kind of break down the schedule for this inaugural season.
Yeah, so 5 races for them starting off April 21st through the 23rd. Prairie City Kart Track will be the opening round of the series, May 26th through the 28th. Buttonwillow Raceway Park, halfway point, will be at Southern Oregon Karters Association. That will be June 23rd through the 25th. You'll see the July 14th through 16th weekend, Santa Maria Karting Association, and then a bit of a break until the final race in September, the 15th through the 17th, will be a street race in Corning, California.
Yeah, and again, the categories will be focused around the Briggs 206 engine package, along with the, I believe, the KA100 package for junior, senior, and master's drivers, along with, I believe, an open shifter category. So again, a number of different opportunities and divisions. And we'll hopefully hear more about this street race that'll be in Corning, California. Again, a lot of street races that have happened in California. We went to the Lancaster Grand Prix for a number of years. There's been other events as well too, and it might be a great warm up for the later events, including the Rock Vegas and the Superkarts USA Super Nationals 26 that'll be coming up at the end of the year. So interested to hear more about that, and hopefully we'll get more. I know they're still working on building a website and getting an online base for that. So once it does become available, we'll obviously reach out and share it through our social media channels. Another updated schedule, that's kind of a common theme, got to move some things around depending on, availability and situations that arise. And that's been the case in the 2023 Road Tax U.S. Trophy Series West program, as they've had to update the Musselman Honda Circuit event in Tucson, Arizona. That's going to be May 12th through the 14th, and the series begins on March 17th through the 19th at the Phoenix Kart Racing Association. So basically, the road to Bahrain begins in Phoenix with the first 2 rounds. I think they're having 2 rounds, if I recall. Maybe it's just 1 round. I got to refresh my memory on that. But the road to Bahrain begins March 17th through the 19th at the Phoenix Kart Racing Association. So a little bit of a gap between the 2 races. Something came up to where I believe they had to move away from the April weekend and go into May for the Musselman Honda Circuit event. So that's the update regarding that program on the West Coast for Road Tax racers. And we'll have a little bit more regarding United States Pro Kart Series and the Texas Sprint Racing Series and their programs for the 2023 season after these commercials.
If you want to challenge yourself against the best drivers in the sport, put the United States Pro Kart Series on your calendar. Established in 2013, the USPKS is entering its 11th season following record participation numbers. The 2023 season, presented by MG Tires and IAME USA East, is slated to hit 5 major tracks over 5 weekends. to decide the champions in the now 8 categories. The season opens at the Orlando Kart Center on March 10th through the 12th, with the USPKS program visiting the Orlando, Florida facility for the second straight year. 2 new facilities will welcome USPKS for the first time in 2023. Round 2 takes place at the crown jewel of Texas karting, Speed Sports Racing Park, on April 28th through the 30th. The track is located just north of Houston. The other new location is the repaved and extended Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati in Batavia, Ohio, and the date is set for the August 25th through the 27th weekend. Newcastle Motorsports Park sits between those 2 new tracks on the schedule, hosting Round 3 on June 23rd through the 25th. The USPKS 2023 finale is confirmed for the unofficial series home at the GoPro Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina on October 5th through the 7th weekend. The event will include the series year-end awards ceremony on October 8th. There's a reason this series is logging record numbers. Come find out for yourself. Head to uspks.com for more information. Move up to karting. Move up to the USPKS.
Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. The new face of competitive karting in the Pacific Northwest region is RaceLab. The full-service karting operation is located at the state-of-the-art Kartplex facility in Oliver, British Columbia, Canada, providing everything you need to hit the track or put yourself in a successful driver development program. RaceLab is the official North American distributor for the TB Kart chassis brand, providing the full range of models from kid kart to shifter kart. Villeneuve Racing Karts is their flagship product, available only through RaceLab. The brand carries the name of Formula One champion and Indianapolis 500 winner Jacques Villeneuve, with each model produced by TB Kart. Kartplex, the home of RaceLab, is situated on the grounds of the Area 27 Motorsports Park. From full arrive and drive TB Kart rentals to leagues and competition karting, the facility provides a new home to developing the future stars of motorsports, all beginning at Kartplex with RaceLab. Follow RaceLab on social media on Facebook and Instagram, or load up their website at www.theracelab.ca to learn more about TB Kart and Villeneuve Racing Karts. RaceLab. Race with us, win with us.
And welcome back to the third segment of This Week in Karting, episode number 59. It is February 20th, 2023. I'm David Cole, joined by Nate Dean as we break down news, notes, and hot topics that are surrounding the sport. And one of those great topics is prize package. I mean, there's nothing better than getting awards and getting prizes for the accomplishments you perform on the racetrack. The United States Pro Kart Series has been one of those that has done a great job at giving back to the racers, and 2023 will be no different. That includes a over $18,000 cash purse for each weekend that will include 3 categories this year. Typically, it's been only 2 categories, but now they're going to have 3 pro categories. Nate, for the United States Pro Kart Series, kind of break down the prize package for those 3 categories.
Yeah, so a lot to go over here. In X30 Pro, $5,000 for the winner, $2,500 for second, $1,250 for third. You have to have a minimum of 30 entries, though, for that to apply. Same goes for X30 Pro Junior. It's $2,500 for the win, $1,500 for second, and then $750 for third. Moving into Pro Shifter, it's going to be $2,500 for the win, $1,500 for second, $750 for Pro Shifter in third. Minimum of 20 entries for that new category for USPKS. Moving into some other news from that series, the IME US Grand National Championship ticket for a championship. It looks like some other cash and prizes between MG chipping in and a lot of other sponsors, I'm sure, throughout the year that will chip into that we can talk about right now.
Yeah, that's the unique thing about the championship program with the United States Pro Kart Series. They let the champion decide what prize package he wants to take home. And then from that, second place gets to choose, and then third place gets what's left over in terms of the top 3 championship finishers. And then fourth and fifth, I believe, are get such possibly IME parts or MG tires as well. So, IME USA Grand National Championship ticket, that'll be one up for grabs. I'm going to assume that United States Pro Kart Series winner's circle will be up for grabs. And then either cash or maybe engines will be probably the third option for the top 3 in the championship positions to choose from. So that'll be handed out at the award ceremony on October 8th. So they'll actually have a day dedicated to just the awards, having the main events done on Saturday. And that's going to be the unique thing about the United States Pro Kart Series this year. Just one main event. So 5 race weekends, just one main event. So you win on track. You win that, in those pro categories, you're going to win that money, that $5,000 for X30 Pro and $2,500 for Pro Shifter or X30 Pro Junior. So before, it was the weekend winner would get the prize money. So it's a little bit different this year, having just that one main event. So certainly things are going to ramp up throughout the weekend as we get closer and closer to the main events for each United States Pro Kart Series weekend. And it all kicks off March 9th through the 12th with the Southern Grand Prix heading to the Orlando Kart Center in Orlando, Florida. So just a few weeks away before we get there. Right now, we're looking at 5 entries in KZ. So hopefully that'll continue to grow as we get closer to the race weekend. X30 Pro is at 16 and X30 Pro Junior at 15, but I'm sure those will double up for sure over the next week or two. So keep an eye on that. And if you're not registered already, head to uspks.com to be part of the 2023 season opener in Orlando. And continuing with prize package and schedules, the Texas Sprint Racing Series did confirm their updates to the 2023 schedule and, of course, the championship prize package for this season. So, Nate, kind of break down their schedule for this year.
Yeah, so again, a lot to go over. Speed Sports kicking off things in Houston. March 24th through 26th will be the start of the Texas Sprint Racing Series. You'll go to North Texas Carters, May 26th through 28th. Then June 30th through July 2nd will be at Amarillo Kart Complex. You'll be heading for round 4, August 4th through the 6th. Rimrock Raceway, and then September 15th through 17th going back to Speed Sports Racing Park. A lot of prize and packages for the champions. Briefly touching on them, for the Briggs 206 champion, I believe for senior, if I'm not mistaken, IKF Grand National.
I think it's for all the Briggs 206 categories. So they have cadet, junior, and senior.
Okay, so for all of those categories, IKF Grand Nationals entries and a Texas Sprint Racing Series package. For K100, it's a SCUSA Super Nationals 26 entry. And again, with that series package, moving on to the Swift category, same as K100, Super Nationals entry with that Texas Sprint Racing Series package. And then finally for kid karts, like we said, the Texas Sprint Racing Series package for the champion.
Yeah, not to mention with the KA 100 categories and the mini and micro Swift divisions, those champions get a guaranteed Super Sunday starting spot at the Super Nationals 26. So not only do they get free entry, but they also get a confirmed spot on the Super Sunday grid. So depending on, if their category has more than the 44 drivers that are typically on track for the main event, they get that 41st, I believe, or it goes behind the Pro Tour champions, depending on how that all works out. Either way, they're on the grid no matter what happens during the week at Super Nationals 26. So that's another great perk to be part of the Texas Sprint Racing Series program in 2023 for those 2-cycle categories. And of course, all the Briggs 206 champions get to get an entry into the IKF Grand Nationals, which I don't believe has been announced yet for 2023. So hopefully we'll get some more details surrounding that event and a chance to take home a Duffy, the prestigious Duffy Trophy that many over the decades of the sport have been able to take home. And now with that, we'll head into our final commercial break as we wrap up episode 59 of This Week in Karting.
For over 20 years, Greg Bell has been building race-winning power for kart racers. One need only look at his team, Leading Edge Motorsports. He's always built engines for his team, and the results have been wins at the biggest races in America, the SCUSA Super Nationals and the Rock Vegas events. The name on this program? Mega Power. This year alone, Bell and Danny Formel teamed up to sweep the Rock Shifter class on the Florida Winter Tour, all on a Mega Power engine. If you want to win shifter kart races, it's time to put Mega Power on your kart. Mega Power specializes in gearbox engines, such as the TMKZ, Rock Shifter, and IME Shifter, but with almost 3 decades of engine building experience, Bell develops winning motors for X30 and Mini Swift and everything in between. The combination of Greg Bell's engine building skills and his chassis tuning knowledge is a potent mixture. Greg's helped catapult many drivers to wins over the years, including Mercedes F1 star George Russell, who won the Supernats 14 in 2011 with Leading Edge Motorsports. Increase your odds of winning at this year's Rock Vegas or Super National events or throughout 2023 by calling Greg Bell today at 209-747-2613 to put Mega Power in your corner. Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and the safety gear you need to get you on the track. Visit shopakr.com for a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors in the sport to ensure all the latest equipment is available to you, the racer. With over 20 years in business and customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price when you need them. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Make sure to follow Acceleration Kart Racing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials and new arrivals. There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. The ST5 KRT karting helmet is available for $599. Manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material, the KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for the younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision. The perfect youth helmet is available for $549. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva Rib Protector is unlike any on the market, with its form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these and many more products to keep you safe on the track. Stilo, any competition, one helmet.
And welcome back to our final segment here on This Week in Karting, episode number 59. It is February 20th, 2023. I am David Cole, joined by Nate Dean, and now we'll kind of break down some of the ECAN editorial that has been on the website. We've had a number of articles and trackside coverage over the last couple of weeks. One of the first things to hit the news desk was the on-track article on the Coyote Zenith, piloted by Rob Howden, as Rob was able to kind of break down his weekend with the performance aboard the Coyote Zenith with, I can't think of the team name right now off the top of my head. So Rob was able to race at the Cup Karts North America Grand Nationals 6 at Newcastle Motorsports Park in October, and was there racing with Brandon Jarzakrak and the Precision Performance Karting. That's the team name I was trying to come up with. So got to give a little insight in the background or behind the scenes look at racing with that and racing aboard the Coyote Zenith, where he actually drove to a podium finish. So a great performance by him, and sure something he's going to want to try and repeat here in 2023. We also covered the product spotlight. We produced a product spotlight article surrounding the Streeter Super Stands, a number of different options that karters do have in terms of a karting stand, not to mention their Bigfoot stand that they have, along with the stackers and the Super Lift, I believe is the you got to help me out, Nate. I'm doing bad with names right now.
My internet is so slow. I'm trying to load it up.
But yeah,
all the different Super Lift and the stacker stands.
There it is. That's what it was. So I was right. I just wanted to confirm myself. I'm a little under the weather today, so my brain's not acting as quick as I wish it would. So got to again provide. That's the great thing about the sport of karting, Nate, is all the different unique products that are available and then made right here in the United States, like all the Streeter Super Stands are.
Yeah, and for sure, there's a lot of niches in karting that have to be filled, and a lot of companies obviously taking up those opportunities, providing the products. So it's always cool to see well-made, American-made products throughout karting, and obviously Streeter providing some very, very handy kart stands for you.
Yeah, very good. And then we brought back the driver diary. We're able to connect with Preston Lambert, who's actually going to be doing some international racing this year. And so the Northern California native is providing us with some insight into his trips over into Europe and competing there aboard a Sodi kart. And something new, because he was a Track Magic driver, was a winner at the Challenge of the Americas this past year in the junior category. So he's moving up into the senior ranks, racing OK category, along with moving into the Sodi brand. So interesting change while moving over into Europe and racing there. So he provided a look into his first test with the team. And so we have that up on the homepage. We also have ECAN trackside coverage from the 2023 Challenge in the Americas event in Tucson, Arizona, along with your guys' final trip to Homestead this year for the finale of the SuperKarts USA Winter Series event at AMR Motorplex. You got to avoid rain, Nate. That's got to be one of the highlights of going to Homestead for 2 weekends.
Yeah, we had like 10 minutes of showers for the Friday practice for AMR 1, but other than that, it was clear skies. Got a little chilly on Sunday for the second weekend, but still, I'll take that any day over it raining, especially with moving camera equipment around, at least on my side. But for the Carter side, not having to dry off the stuff and having wet race suits to deal with at the end of the weekend. So I'm pretty sure everyone was pretty happy that it stayed dry.
Yeah, I think that's just going to curse us for the rest of the year. I hope not, but you never know. And especially, with, going to Orlando now twice for, you got United States Pro Kart Series and then Super Karts USA Winter Nationals as well. So we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on the weather heading back to Florida a couple times before we even wrap up the first half of the year. And then talking about last year a little bit more, Super Nats time. Tiffany Kelly takes on Las Vegas. So she continued her column series that she's been doing with us, kind of giving an insight into her introduction into the sport and racing at the national level and racing in the master shifter category. So another great kind of segue, or not segue, but an opening column to kind of prepare us for what she was able to do during the Super Nationals 25 event in Las Vegas. So I'm looking forward to reading that final column by her. Our driver of the month for January 2023, and Nate, you were at this event. Lucas Palacio able to pick up 2 victories in the mini Swift category, and they were not easy ones by far.
No, having to charge through the field for one of them. He had quite a weekend for the first weekend. Yeah, I feel like every time I would watch those races, it would be Truchot or someone out in front, and I go take pictures of the finish, and somehow there'd be a Kart Republic with Palacio behind the wheel. So he obviously had a really good weekend off the back of our article we did on the ones to watch with Palacio. Does that. Comes and gets January driver of the month. So obviously, hopefully, should be a good year ahead for the Trinity Karting Group driver.
Yeah, again, only his second season in the mini Swift category. I believe he just turned 9 years old. So we're going to see a lot of him in the mini category for the next couple of years for sure. And then wrap it up with race reports are now available from this weekend. Regarding the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour at the PK Race Park. So all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, available on the homepage to read and check out. So make sure you get to the homepage and check out all those articles and get caught up on what's happening within the sport. In terms of audio podcast, again, download our ECAN podcast anywhere you're able to get podcasts via iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean, or any other podcast outlets. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast and give us a review if you can through any of those services that you do use. Of course, This Week in Karting, episode 58 from January 25th is available for download, including both Outlap and Debrief podcasts from the Challenge of the Americas Tucson, and the Outlap and Debrief for the Superkarts USA Winter Series finale at the AMR Motorplex, so AMR 2 event. All 5 of those podcasts available for download right now. And again, if you don't like podcasts and just like putting on a radio, we have the EKN Radio Network playing 24 hours, 7 days a week, the only karting radio station in the world. So if you can, download the app. You can play it on your laptop, anywhere that you want to just tune in and pick up anybody talking about karting. We have live broadcasts from the past. We have obviously This Week in Karting going to be playing on the EKN Radio Network on Tuesday. We'll also continue playing old Challenge of the Americas. We'll put in some Winter Nationals from the Superkarts USA Pro Tour, and of course some rewinds at the United States Pro Kart Series events past. So we'll even play the inaugural event back from 2013 at what was the Mooresville Motorplex, now GoPro Motorplex. So that's always a fun one to listen to. It actually includes drivers like Sam Mayer, Dylan Tavella, Neil Verhagen. So a lot of drivers that you're seeing on the weekends on television, either racing NASCAR, IMSA, or even in the open wheel junior ranks as well. So a lot of drivers that were racing cadet at the time, you can see now racing on the weekends. Nate, kind of give us a what's coming up on EKN here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so still a busy start of the season for us. March 3rd through the 5th, we'll be at the Challenge of the Americas for Phoenix Kart Racing Association down in Phoenix. Always a good track, provides some good racing. CKNA Spring Nationals at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Concord, North Carolina. At the track won't be the full coverage, but it'll be some stories here and there, some content being thrown up on that end. And then March 10th through 12th will be SCUSA Pro Tour Winter Nationals at Orlando Kart Center in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, that's actually the United States Pro Kart Series weekend. Whoever wrote this script did it wrong. That would be me. So that would be the United States Pro Kart Series at the Orlando Kart Center on March 10th through the 12th. So 2 of those events I'll be at. I'll be doing the Challenge in the Americas, and then the next weekend at the United States Pro Kart Series event in Orlando. You'll be at Cup Kart Spring Nationals, not there in a full capacity, but be there to kind of take some notes, do some photos, do some videos. Have you ever been to the Charlotte Motor Speedway before?
I did when WKA went there for their first time, and they ran on the.
You were part of that weekend. Oh, that's right.
I was part of that weekend.
Yeah,
I was part of that weekend. Not fully.
Yeah,
but it was part of that weekend.
Did you go check out the road racing and that chaos that 180 turn was?
Oh my god! No, on the track walk that I took, and I saw that corner for the road racers, I thought, A, that doesn't look fun. B, also thinking if they lose brakes, they're going right into us. But yeah, it was an interesting weekend.
That was an interesting weekend. But I've done the actual road course now, because obviously they ran the full road course. I believe the following year I got to make a couple laps, and it's actually a really fun track to drive. It is a little sketchy with the walls being right there, something that you're not used to. You kind of gotta phase it out, but it was certainly a fast and again, the elevation, that's something that the sprint track had, with the I think they went the opposite direction and down that hill, and that was pretty good elevation change for a sprint track. But essentially it was a road race. When we talk the Manufacturers Cup side of things. So yeah, that was an interesting weekend. That certainly was. And then I think we had lightning strike towards the end of the event, and we couldn't even broadcast because we lost the PA system. We lost, I think I lost my audio feed. I couldn't do anything like that. So that was a memorable weekend, but I think that fueled the paving of the racetrack. I think that was part of the kart track, at least the original kart track that is there now. Obviously they made a little bit of changes, but I think that helped fuel the fire and got Charlotte Motor Speedway looking at, we just really need that old track back. And it's a very historic track. So I'm interested to get your feedback on it, because I haven't watched a full Cup Karts race weekend there. I did Road Tax there, and I thought it was a pretty good track for Road Tax. I'm interested to hear the feedback that you'll have regarding it being a Briggs racetrack or not. So, because I've heard a lot of different things, and again, until you drive it or until you've been there, you really don't know. So, interested to hear that, and then interested to see what type of coverage and photos and videos you'll be able to bring there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you are right with the WK weekend really sparking that need to go back to the other track. And I've heard some good things. Some people from our area have gone down, and they have said some quite nice things both about Cup Karts running that event and the track. So definitely looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, again, we'll be busy over the next couple of weeks at a number of different events. Rob will actually be at St. Pete covering the USF Pro Championship programs, kicking off with the IndyCar program, an event that'll be down there in St. Pete. So a lot of different events that we'll be at over the next couple of weeks. So again, follow us on social media for all information, news, and topics and other things that have been going on in the sport of karting. And again, thank you for tuning in to This Week in Karting. For Nate Dean, I am David Cole. Thank you again for tuning in, and we'll talk to you.